Title: The Reckoning. Heroes unite against darkness. As the heroes gather once more to defend their world, they find themselves facing a new wave of challenges. With the return of Daredevil, Flash, Kid Flash, Superman, and the unexpected arrival of Iron Fist, their ranks are bolstered and their resolve strengthened. However, their moment of reunion is short-lived as the villains they thought defeated return with a vengeance. Zoom and Savitar, their powers augmented and their thirst for chaos unquenched, emerge from the shadows once more, joined by three formidable adversaries: Godspeed, Red Death, and Cobalt Blue. Cobalt Blue's presence among the villains strikes a chord of betrayal within the heroes' hearts. Once a friend and ally, he now serves as the avatar of the negative Speed Force, a force of darkness that threatens to consume everything in its path. As the heroes brace themselves for battle, alliances are forged and old wounds reopened. Iron Fist and Daredevil find themselves facing off against the newly liberated Kingpin, their martial arts prowess put to the test against the crime lord's cunning and strength. Superman, the embodiment of hope and strength, squares off against Savitar, their clash shaking the very foundations of the earth as they vie for supremacy. Meanwhile, Kid Flash finds himself locked in a high-speed duel with Zoom, their movements blurring as they race across the city. The Flash, determined to stop Cobalt Blue and put an end to the negative Speed Force's reign of terror, faces off against his former friend in a battle that tests his resolve like never before. With each punch and burst of speed, he fights to bring Cobalt Blue back from the brink of darkness. Meanwhile, Green Arrow makes a dramatic entrance, joining the fray just when his allies need him most. With his bow drawn and his aim true, he takes on Red Death, the embodiment of speed and destruction, in a battle that tests his skill and determination to the limit. As the battles rage on, the fate of the world hangs in the balance. With each passing moment, the heroes and villains alike push themselves to their limits, knowing that the outcome of their struggle will shape the destiny of their world for years to come. Title: The Battle for Existence. Heroes confront their shadows as Cobalt Blue's dark influence spreads. A new threat emerges from the depths of the multiverse, summoned by his malevolent power. Reverse Flash returns from the depths of death once more, his presence sending shockwaves through the battlefield as he joins forces with Cobalt Blue. Kid Flash continues his relentless battle against Zoom, their conflict echoing across the city as they push themselves to their limits in a battle of speed and determination. Meanwhile, Cobalt Blue unveils his latest creation, a sinister counterpart to Superman known as Omni-Man. With powers rivaling the Man of Steel himself, Omni-Man proves to be a formidable opponent, his strength and invulnerability posing a challenge even for the mighty Superman. Savitar, the self-proclaimed god of speed, squares off against the Flash, their clash of lightning and speed tearing through the fabric of reality as they vie for supremacy. Green Arrow continues his duel against Red Death, the speedster's relentless pursuit pushing the Archer to his limits as he fights to protect those he holds dear. As the battles rage on, Flash finds himself facing off against Godspeed, his speedster rival determined to prove himself superior once and for all. Daredevil, ever the guardian of Hell's Kitchen, confronts Kingpin once more, their battle of wills and strength shaking the very streets they fight to protect. Iron Fist, facing an evil vision of himself conjured by Cobalt Blue's dark magic, must confront his inner demons and find the strength to overcome the darkness threatening to consume him. As the heroes and villains clash in an epic struggle for the fate of their world, the stakes have never been higher. With each passing moment, the very fabric of reality hangs in the balance, and only the strongest, bravest, and most determined will emerge victorious in the battle against Cobalt Blue and his dark minions. Title: Triumph over Darkness. Uniting against chaos as the battle rages on, Green Arrow refuses to yield to the relentless onslaught of Red Death. With unwavering determination and skillful precision, he finally manages to outsmart and outmaneuver his speedy adversary, delivering a final arrow that brings Red Death to his knees. With a triumphant roar, Green Arrow stands victorious. His victory a beacon of hope for the embattled heroes as they continue to face the onslaught of Cobalt Blue's machinations. Meanwhile, chaos erupts throughout the city as Cobalt Blue's dark influence spreads like wildfire. His call to arms echoes through the streets, rallying his minions to sow discord and destruction wherever they go. Zoom, the embodiment of speed and chaos, continues his relentless assault on Kid Flash. Their battle leaving destruction in its wake as they race across the city at breakneck speeds. At the same time, Omni-Man proves to be a formidable opponent for Superman. His immense strength and invulnerability pushing the Man of Steel to his limits. Despite his best efforts, Superman finds himself struggling to overcome his powerful adversary. As the heroes struggle to contain the chaos unleashed by Cobalt Blue, they realize that they must put aside their differences and unite against their common foe. With their combined strength and determination, they launch a coordinated counterattack against Cobalt Blue and his minions, determined to bring an end to his reign of terror once and for all. With every blow and every burst of speed, the heroes fight with all their might, pushing themselves to their limits in a battle for the very soul of their world. And as they stand united against the forces of darkness, they know that together, they are stronger than any adversary they may face. But as the battle reaches its climax and the fate of the world hangs in the balance, the heroes realize that victory may come at a steep price. With sacrifices made and lives on the line, they steel themselves for the final confrontation that will determine the fate of their world once and for all. As the epic battle reaches its climax, the Flash finds himself facing off against Cobalt Blue, the embodiment of darkness and chaos. With his allies by his side, the Scarlett speedster prepares to confront his ultimate foe, knowing that the fate of the world hangs in the balance. With lightning crackling around him, the Flash charges forward, his determination unwavering as he clashes with Cobalt Blue in a battle of epic proportions. Each punch and every burst of speed sends shockwaves through the battlefield. As the two adversaries push themselves to their limits in their struggle for supremacy. Meanwhile, Superman, the symbol of hope and strength, stands face to face with Omni-Man. Their titanic clash shaking the very foundations of the earth. With every blow exchanged, the Man of Steel refuses to back down. Determined to protect his world from the dark forces that threaten to consume it. Zoom, Godspeed, Reverse Flash, and Savitar, their powers waning with each passing moment, find themselves overwhelmed by the combined might of the heroes. With their reign of terror finally brought to an end, they are defeated once and for all, their dark legacy finally coming to an end. As the dust settles and the battle draws to a close, the heroes stand victorious, their unity and determination proving stronger than any force of darkness. With Cobalt Blue finally defeated and the other villains vanquished, peace is restored to the world once more. But as the heroes catch their breath and begin to pick up the pieces, they know that their work is never truly done. With new challenges always on the horizon, they stand ready to face whatever threats may come their way, knowing that as long as they stand united, they can overcome any obstacle and protect their world from the forces of darkness. As the dust settles and the heroes begin to regroup, a lone figure stands defiant amidst the chaos. Cobalt Blue, refusing to accept defeat, challenges the Flash to a final showdown. A battle to determine the fate of the world once and for all. With no help from the other heroes, the Flash braces himself for the ultimate confrontation against his dark counterpart. Their clash is fierce and relentless, each blow echoing through the empty streets as they fight with all their might. Despite Cobalt Blue's formidable powers and relentless determination, the Flash refuses to back down, drawing upon his inner strength and resolve to push himself beyond his limits. With every punch and every burst of speed, he fights with all his heart, knowing that the fate of the world hangs in the balance. As the battle rages on, it becomes clear that this is more than just a physical confrontation, it is a battle of wills. A test of character and determination. With every moment that passes, the Flash digs deeper, tapping into the very essence of heroism that defines him. In the end, it is the Flash's unwavering resolve and indomitable spirit that prove to be his greatest weapon. With one final burst of speed, he delivers a decisive blow that sends Cobalt Blue reeling. His dark powers shattered and his reign of terror finally brought to an end. As Cobalt Blue falls, defeated at last, the Flash stands victorious, his victory a testament to the power of courage, hope, and the unwavering determination to stand up for what is right. With peace restored to the world once more, the heroes stand united, ready to face whatever challenges may come their way. For as long as there are threats to face and innocence to protect, they will always be there to answer the call of heroism, ensuring that light will always triumph over darkness. As Barry, the Flash, confronts Cobalt Blue, he sees beyond the darkness that has consumed his former friend, Eddie. With compassion and empathy, he reaches out to the part of Eddie that remains, pleading with him to remember the goodness within him before the negative speed force took hold. Despite the struggles and pain he endures, Barry makes the difficult decision to keep the negative speed force within him, knowing that it is the only way to prevent others from being consumed by its darkness. With great resolve, he accepts this burden, determined to protect his loved ones and the world from its corrupting influence. As Barry's wife lies in the hospital, the other heroes gather to show their support and solidarity. They stand by his side, offering words of encouragement and comfort as he grapples with the weight of his decision and the uncertainty of the future. But amidst the gathering of heroes, one notable absence is felt: Eddie. The man who was once Barry's friend and ally. Though he is not physically present, his presence is felt in the hearts of those who stand vigil at the hospital, hoping for his redemption and return to the side of light. As Barry prepares to retire from his role as the Flash, his decision is met with mixed emotions from his fellow heroes. As Barry, the Flash, confronts Cobalt Blue, he sees beyond the darkness that has consumed his former friend, Eddie. With compassion and empathy, he reaches out to the part of Eddie that remains, pleading with him to remember the goodness within him before the negative speed force took hold. Despite the struggles and pain he endures, Barry makes the difficult decision to keep the negative speed force within him, knowing that it is the only way to prevent others from being consumed by its darkness. With great resolve, he accepts this burden, determined to protect his loved ones and the world from its corrupting influence. As Barry's wife lies in the hospital, the other heroes gather to show their support and solidarity. They stand by his side, offering words of encouragement and comfort as he grapples with the weight of his decision and the uncertainty of the future. But amidst the gathering of heroes, one notable absence is felt: Eddie. The man who was once Barry's friend and ally. Though he is not physically present, his presence is felt in the hearts of those who stand vigil at the hospital, hoping for his redemption and return to the side of light. As Barry prepares to retire from his role as the Flash, his decision is met with mixed emotions from his fellow heroes. While they understand his desire to protect his loved ones and live a normal life, they also know that the world will always need heroes like him to stand against the forces of darkness. With a heavy heart, Barry bids farewell to his friends and allies, knowing that even in retirement, he will always be a hero at heart. And as he walks away from his life as the Flash, he takes comfort in the knowledge that his legacy will live on, inspiring others to rise up and continue the fight for justice and peace.